Nikita built his meteoric rise off spectacular power. The undefeated Dark Prince of the Tszyu royal family. One touch from that right hand, and it's lights out.
The Butcher is truly back.
Just 11 fights in, there are unanswered questions. Whether this brawler is ready for the next step for the bad guy.
Nikita, I'm coming.
Yeah, Zerafa.
Who is next for the pretty boy?
He's a two-time world title challenger who's made a career out of ruining careers.
Zerafa says sayonara.
Hands as fast as that lightning mouth. Right there! With knockout power of his own. A genuine 50-50 fight between the old buck and the young bull.
Oh, hello!
And if that ain't enough,
He's been doing it all night.
pro debut of Big Nelson Asofa-Solomona. Two-time NRL Premiership powerhouse. 2 metres, 130 kilos. Coming for Australia's heavyweights.
I don't know how they stopped him.
So let's go. Friday. Nikita Tszyu versus Michael Zerafa.
Here he goes. You asked for it.
Must-watch boxing event of the year.
The life-changing night of action.
It's live and exclusive right here on Main Event.
Oh, it's been such a long time coming, hasn't it? A super fight featuring the names Tszyu and Zerafa, but it is finally here to kick off 2026. Good evening to you. Welcome along to Fight Week here in Brisbane. Day 1 of 5 as we build up to the biggest domestic grudge match of the last decade, and we will be hearing from both men shortly as they make their first official appearance of Fight Week at tonight's grand arrivals. And, well, it wouldn't be a big fight in Oz without this man. Two-time world champion Shaun Porter is here for all of Fight Week alongside the crew, Miles, Peter Adele. Hey, so good to see you. Easy decision, I'm guessing, to get on a plane and come down under for this one.
It's getting easier and easier for me to do it. I love it. And a fun weekend we have ahead of us. This is going to be one of the best fights that I've been a part of, I'm sure of it.
I know you're equally as excited to be here, maybe a little relieved as well, Pete Padell, because there's been so many twists and turns along the way. There were times where we wondered, hey, would we ever get here?
Absolutely. Look, this is my hometown, Mex, Brisbane, Vegas. I'm going to show Shawnee some of the pubs and clubs around here, but look, this is the fight we wanted to see. I mean, it's been a lot of years in the making. Of course, it was meant to be Tim Tszyu against Michael Zerafa in 2021. That didn't happen. And now the next best thing we get is younger brother. And there is grudge match there is rivalry, there is tension. It's building by the day. And I think we're going to see one of the great blockbuster fights in Australian boxing.
Such a great buzz here in Brisbane tonight. A little bit wet as well. We're getting rained on at the moment. We're trying to ignore that. But so many famous faces here tonight. And not just people of Australian boxing, but people of Australian sport here to catch a glimpse of Nikita and Michael Zerafa. All of our undercard fighters making their grand arrivals. Fair to say we probably haven't had a fight week quite like this since maybe Tim Tszyu, Tony Harrison 3 years ago. There's
been a few blockbusters, Megan. Of course, there was that fight in Sydney a couple of years ago, and then obviously Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao in 2017 here at Suncorp Stadium in Queensland. There's been Tim Tszyu, of course, against Jeff Horn in 2020, so we've seen some magnificent fights here. It's a city that embraces boxing, and we're going to this will be up there with the great fights. I really believe that. I think stylistically this is the right fight at the right time, and I wouldn't be surprised if either man goes down in this fight. I can't wait.
I mentioned the Tony Harrison fight. That was your first time working with us. Can't believe that was 3 years ago. But since then, you've worked on a lot of Nikita's fights with us. You've got to know Mick Zerafa pretty well. Just how important is this fight in the context of both of their careers?
It's very important. I think the thing for me, when it comes to Nikita, I want to see the growth of him at this point in his career. I remember when I first started coming over to do Tim's fights, and I was able to see Tim grow every single fight out. It's time for Nikita to not be the reckless Nikita, but just be that fun, exciting Nikita that knows how to take care of himself and put his fighter in positions to really hurt him and take advantage of him. And Zerafa, I think, is the perfect guy for him to show his improvements and his growth as a fighter.
Global ramifications, Pete, for both men.
That's right, Megan. Look, this isn't just domestic relevance. This is international significance. So I can tell you that if Nikita Tszyu wins this fight, he goes to number 3 with the IBF, which means a world title eliminator will be his next fight. That is massive for Nikita Tszyu if he wins. If Michael Zerafa wins, same thing. He goes up the rankings at middleweight, even though this is at a catch weight at 157. He goes in with a chance of a world title eliminator or a world title fight this year. So that's the ramifications for these men. This is huge. This is not just a domestic scrap. This can be a world title on the line for these 2 guys this year.
So much to chat about. Great to get your early thoughts. We're going to get this show on the road here in Brisbane. It's over to George Rose, No Limit boss, for the official welcome.
Welcome to beautiful Queensland here to our grand arrivals. Grudge match we have seen since Tszyu Horn back in Townsville 5 years ago. This is the biggest domestic matchup that you will see, not only this year, but for quite some time. It's a huge one. It's a pleasure to have everyone here for our grand arrivals here in beautiful Queensland. We had a great plan for this week. There's going to be a lot of fantastic events coming up. We've got 10,000 people coming to the Brisbane Entertainment Centre on Friday night, and it's going to be a huge fight. Not only the main event, but it's a huge card leading up to it. Before I get into that, I want to talk in 2026. It's going to be a huge year for us. We finished 2025 really strong. It felt great, and we knew that we were going to hit the ground running in 2026. The best way to start it, of course, is with the best domestic matchup you can possibly make. We're also looking to do a bit of a road trip around Australia. We want to get around to all the cities around Australia. We're looking to go to 8 different cities next year. We've got a mega fight planned for next year. There's going to be world titles. There's going to be fantastic domestic matchups that we'll have too. But that's all coming in what's going to be a huge year for No Limit Boxing. This week we've got a huge week planned here for as I said, what's the biggest domestic grudge match we're going to see. We've got our public workouts coming up tomorrow. We've got our press conference on, what day are we now? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm rolling it out here. We've got our press conference on Wednesday. Wednesday, 11 a.m. All of our events are open to the public. So anybody in Brisbane who wants to come down, any of you, 10,000 people who are going to be there on Friday night who want to come down and enjoy it, all of it's open to the public. So tomorrow, the open workouts at Brisbane PCYC. We're at King George's Square for the press conference. We're at King George's Square for the public weigh-in on Thursday. And then, of course, all the action goes down on Friday night, the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, Nikita Tszyu versus Michael Zerafa. This is a genuine 50-50 fight. People are split on who's going to win this one. It's a massive event. Not only that, we've got a fantastic undercard. We've got heavyweights on there. You know I love heavyweights. We've got 3 heavyweight fights coming for you, including Nelson Asofa-Solomona making his heavyweight debut here for No Limit Boxing. He's got a huge fight against Jeremy Lattimore. We've got the Australian heavyweight title. We've got the fighters from the Fight of the Year last year, voted by Oz Boxing. We've got them both on the card. Liam Wilson is back, and CJ Mundine making his debut to open the card. The son of the legend, the former pay-per-view king, Anthony Mundine. And this one will be one that really pushes the boundaries on what we do on viewership. And with Nikita Tszyu, Michael Zerafa, the Fight of the Year is happening in January. So massive fight night coming up on Friday. We hope you all enjoy everything that we've got coming up. It's going to be a fantastic week. We look forward to sharing it all with all of you there. All of our events are open to the public. As I said, it's going to be a huge year this year for No Limit Boxing. It all starts Friday night. Thank you very much for everyone for being here, and for everybody who's tuning in. Make sure you watch Friday night. It is going to be the event to see. Thank you very much. I'll throw it back to Megan.
Yeah, thanks very much, Georgie Rose, and I'm pleased to say that Nikita Tszyu has been good enough to step off the red carpet and come and have a quick chat with us. How was that for you, making your grand arrival a few moments ago? Your first time ever making your grand arrival?
Oh, I love a red carpet. I was having the time of my life.
What do you love about it, Nikita?
That was all sarcasm.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. The cameras and all this kind of stuff, it's not my thing. I punch people in the head for a living. This is part of the business, but it's not my cup of tea.
I'm going to ask you a question that was asked to me earlier. The question presented to me is, when you're standing across from somebody that you know, does that change things? How does it feel? You know Michael very well, and the history between the family and everything. What's the energy like as you get prepared to get in the ring with Michael Zerafa this weekend?
Well, I just keep picturing him hurting my family, and that's just enough for me to zone in. I know the task I have at hand, and I know it's a tough one. There's no love in this sport, and yeah.
What about Nikita? Your preparation, I know you've had one round in 16 months. There's been talk about your hand, you had the surgery. How are you going physically, and how do you overcome that I guess that lack of activity in the ring over the last year and a half?
Well, we've been preparing for this fight straight after my last one in August, and we've had a little bumps and bruises along the way, but that's just part of the sport. You get injuries. We've had to kind of slow down with some things, but in the last month and a bit, everything kind of came to a perfect climax, and everything is working nicely.
You mentioned your family. Do you feel like your mindset towards fighting has changed since becoming a dad?
I don't know yet, but there is a huge motivation that I have. There is an emotional motivation that I have, and that drive to provide for her.
We all look at this as this is a clear 50-50 fight. I'm looking at it as this is a 50-50 fight. What do you need to do to make sure that this is an 80-20 fight, Nikita Tszyu? You know, what do you need to do to separate yourself from Michael Zerafa?
Don't need to separate. Keep it a 50-50. I like it down the middle, and I know that if I follow the game plan, if I follow the stuff that we've been practicing and training, that the blueprint is there, the holes are there. I just got to execute.
P, I feel like you just said, he's going to go down, I'm going to go down, we're both going to go down, and the best man's going to win.
I shaved my head for a reason. We're in the warrior spirit.
What about Nikita, the psychology of this fight? Because Mick Zerafa's saying the pressure's on you. I disagree. I think the pressure's on Mick Zerafa. Every measurable barometer, he should win this fight. He's had more fights, he's had more knockouts, better opponents, bigger stages. Well, why do you think you beat Mick Zerafa?
Why do I think I'll beat him? I just believe. I believe. I see the future ahead of me, and I know that he's a stepping stone in that way, and I've done everything that I possibly could in this preparation. I can't say anything bad about what I've done. Everything's worked out perfectly. So just got to execute the game plan, really.
I believe that the will is what you're up against when it comes to Michael Zerafa. I think that he has not only experience, but he has this mental will, this belief that he's going to beat you. What do you think you're up against when it comes to Michael Zerafa? What are the toughest challenges ahead of you?
I think his experience and just his awareness in the ring, the experience of the unforeseeable things that you don't expect in fights. I've only had 11 fights. I've had a couple situations where there were unexpected things, but nowhere near as much as he has. So I'm going to be learning on the fly, and I've got to improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. There's only one way to learn. Like, you got to eventually jump over that hurdle eventually. So this is my time.
Appreciate your time. We know you love these events, so go back, mingle, get out of this wet weather, and we'll see you tomorrow for the open workouts. There we go. Nikita Tszyu, good enough to join us. Michael Zerafa is going to join us next, as is Big Nelson Asofa-Solomona. But we're going to take a quick break. Here in Brisbane, you're watching the grand arrivals ahead of the biggest grudge match in domestic boxing of the last decade. We're back right after this.
Their seats. They do not want to miss any of this action.
BBL 15 underway.
Welcome to the big bash. Going, and gone. For a maximum.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Incredible.
You're guilty.
What we want to see. Never turn off the big bash.
It just takes one punch.
You've got to think you're the best, and I do.
Control chaos is who I am and what I do, and that's what this sport is.
Oh! Big right from JG!
For a long time, I've said I want what she has.
more pressure, the bigger the moment.
I thrive under that. This is where I do my best work. Now I get to do it in Sydney. This is home.
This people are going to write books about.
Buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Biggest domestic grudge match of the decade.
I have a moral code. You don't really mess with people's families. Vicky Hatton is back. I generally believe I'll stop him.
This is getting nasty.
You have to pick a side.
It's Nikita, the destroyer. You asked for it. Zerafa delivered.
Nikita, I'm coming.
Are you Team Zerafa or are you Team Tszyu?
This one means more than ever before.
One thing that makes me feel alive is getting punched in the face. I just feel like I'm built for it, eh? I feel like I'm built for that gladiatory warfare. Man, we're putting in work every day, and I'm obsessed with boxing, you know. It's a good spot to be in. We want to dabble with the best of the best. At some point, I'm always out there to right some wrongs. He took a shot at my captain, got him in the jaws, and apparently after that incident, he's called himself the GOAT. I think there's a real focus on explosiveness, real fundamentals, and I'm really blessed that I come from the Storm where you hone in on the basics. Yeah, it's a real chess match in boxing, and that's what I love about it. For me, devastating knockout.
Yes, this big night of boxing, it got a whole lot heavy when that man was added to the card a few weeks ago, and he's been good enough to join us now. Nelson Asofa-Solomona, great to see you. Hey, you'd be used to nights like this, I'm pretty sure, after 10 years of playing footy at the highest level, but it must feel a little bit different now that you are the new kid on the block.
Oh yeah, I love nights like this. No, I don't. But no, look, it's good to be a part of such a awesome card. It's going to be an awesome week, and just keen to get amongst it.
Seeing Jeremy Lattimore tonight for the first time since his fight was announced, what was that moment like when you clocked him across the room?
Yeah, look, seeing him, we sized each other up and seeing where my right hand lands and where his. And no, look, we're going to have a bit of fun. So.
I just gotta ask, do you feel a target on your back? You know, you've stepping into the boxing ring now. You've never been in the ring as a professional. Everybody knows you from rugby. You know, do you feel like there's a target on your back? Can I be the guy to get in the ring and knock this guy out?
Yeah, look, there's a bit of pressure there, but I do love pressure. I do love pressure, and pressure loves me, man. When my back's against the wall, that's when I do my best work. So, hey, look, here we are.
You said no fear, but I gotta imagine there's a little bit of fear.
Oh, of course, there's always a bit of fear, but you got to use that fear.
Sucker them into
and you got to channel it. You got to channel it in the right way. So
there's no fear.
There's always a bit of fear, but good fear.
Yeah.
You're good at walking blokes on the punches, Shawnee. We've seen that before. What about Nelson? We've seen you. A lot of Australian fans know you so well from rugby league. You've walked out on a lot of money. I mean, you've done what Anthony Mundine has done. Very few rugby league players leave a career to roll the dice in boxing. Well, why do you think you can make it in boxing?
Look, I enjoy boxing, and I just fell out of love with the game of rugby league. I woke up one morning and I'm just like, look, let's give this a crack. And here I am. So, yeah.
What about people I've talked to in the gym talk about your power, Nelson, that you've got savage power. Is that what you want to show Australian boxing, that you can really do some damage?
Look, the power's there, but I want to show a bit of boxing. I want to show what Team Alice has, installed in me, the basic fundamentals. I really want to show a bit of boxing. I don't want to just go in there and just be a pub fight. I want to show what I've learned.
And from power to size, just how big do you think you are going to be on fight night?
How big? Oh, it just depends what I eat the night before, honestly. I'm not too sure, but 130, hopefully around that 130 mark.
What is your diet like at the moment?
Oh, just trying to avoid Uber Eats as much as possible. So,
No, I'm just eating at the right times. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Can you tell us some of the similarities between rugby and boxing and what separates the two?
Yeah, look, I come from the Melbourne Storm, so they value the very small, basic things, and I feel like it's the same with boxing. In heavyweights, we're not throwing massive combinations. It's just really nailing down on their jab, their right hand, uppercut, and whatever other tools you can come up with. So that's what I've taken from rugby league to boxing. So no, look, I'm really excited to show the fans here what I can do.
Yeah, we're excited as well. You look fantastic. You look the part. Go back and keep mingling, and we'll see you tomorrow for the open workouts. Ronnie Nelson. Boy, he's a big dude, isn't he?
I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see him. It's something about when you come from performing at a very high level in one sport, but you come to boxing. I'm hoping that there's not this big surprise of I'm getting punched for the first time and he freezes. I've seen that happen a lot. But when you're athletic, big like that guy right there, I'm looking forward to what he does on fight night.
Do you have what it takes, do you think, to be maybe our best league boxer?
Look, he won't be as good as Anthony Mundine, of course. Anthony Mundine, 48-11, 59 fights, 21 years. But he can be the best heavyweight that we've seen. Of course, Paul Gallen was the first real footy fighter to cross over as a heavyweight prop forward. I believe Nelson can be better than Paul Gallen. And interesting that Shawnee talked about the fluency. Talking to his team, they say in the gym, often amateur fighters or first-time fighters are stiff.
Yeah.
They say there's a fluidity, there's a looseness to Nelson, and that's a good sign because I think he's got the boxing IQ to match that natural talent, and I think he can win an Australian title, and from there, who knows what happens.
Well, wait till you see Jeremy Lattimore tomorrow. There is a difference between these two guys. But hey, that's just one of 3 heavyweight fights we've got for you on Friday night. The other 2 include local star Dempsey McKean. He's been chasing big fights all around the world for the past few years. He's back to take on the monster from Melbourne in Tszyu Busutu. And the other title fight, Australian title fight, Stevanovic takes on Liam Talabar, who you'll remember from those 2 wild fights against Brandon Ratch, the bull in Newcastle. But Tszyu Busutu's here. He wants to come in and have a bit of a chat with us. You're a scary guy.
I'm scared. I'm good. How are you?
You're a scary guy as it is, but you're in a mood tonight. What's got you so riled up?
I was waiting for. I was hoping to see my opponent here. You know what I mean? Like we're here to promote the fight. We're here to to crown rivals and things like that. And he didn't rock up. He says he's a professional. He's been at the highest level. I'm the one pulling the part here, man. So I hope he turns up on Friday. That's the main thing.
So Dempsey McKean not here tonight, Peter. Surprise no-show.
Yeah, look, I thought Dempsey would be here. I mean, he's been around at 23-2. He's been in the boxing game a long time. Maybe he's just focused on his preparation. But I have to ask you, Tszyu, you've been a bit erratic at times. Like, you've shown power, you've shown a formidable side, but you've also had a couple of losses. Is this a career-defining fight for you?
This is the biggest fight of my career, this one, and I'm treating this fight to get to the international. He's my ticket to the international stage now. Dempsey McKean's been there, with the work intention, talking about NHL, Billion Wire, things like this. And I aspire to be there one day, don't we all? And he's the guy. I got to get through him first.
I got nothing for him now. I'm just standing next to a big, mean, scary guy right now.
Well, what about Tszyu? You had that war with Stevanovic, one of the great Australian domestic heavyweight fights. Your chins were unbelievable. But do you think you've still got the punch resistance? I mean, that took a lot out of you, that fight. What do you learn from that fight to beat Dempsey?
Sorry?
Your fight against Divic was a real war. Yeah. What do you learn from that fight to beat Dempsey McKean?
That's my best performance so far in my career, and I'm only just going to get better. You know what I mean? So I've gone back to the drawing board and really going back to my boxing. Because look, I didn't go to the Commonwealth Games and represent Australia 2018 just being a street fighter. Yeah. I fight because I want to fight. I fight because I can fight. And if I want to box, I can box this bloke's ears off too. So he can't be saying, "Oh, I have to brawl to win the fight." Brother, I fight because I want to fight. Now, when I want to box, let me box your ears off. I'll show you how we do it. I'll take you to school, no worries.
If Dempsey is sitting at home watching right now, what do you want to say to him?
Make sure you come Friday, my friend.
Good on you, Tszyu. Hey, appreciate your time. Go back to enjoying the night. All right, can't wait for our heavyweight circus. But Friday night, it is, of course, all about Nikita and Michael Zerafa. We've got a very special guest joining us right after this.
Nikita Tszyu is the wild man. Wow, here goes Tszyu. Right hand from Tszyu. It's a massive shot. Oh! Nikita, destroyer. No retreat, no surrender. Michael Zerafa. Zerafa looking very dangerous. Big shots from Michael Zerafa. Oh, big right hand. That was a bomb. Here he goes. Zerafa has more where those came from.
Yeah, just 4 sleeps to go until those two finally settle the score, and Sean Porter isn't the only one who's flown in from the US for this fight. Former world champ Pauline Malignaggi is here as well. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
You two know each other. Do you two know each other?
Vaguely. Maybe a little better than vaguely.
We've had some fun.
Yeah. Hey,
more for him.
Hey, what has Sean told you about this main fight and just how ugly it might get?
You know, I personally like rivalries and a bit of trash talk myself. You know, I always compare this thing. You know, people watch WWE and it's scripted, but they still get involved with the beefing and they get involved with the trash talk. And they look forward to the event because of the trash talk. And yet they know that the result is going to be scripted. So with boxing, when it's not scripted, when the trash talk is genuine, and when these guys genuinely don't like each other, I think it's an easy sell. And for me, it gives me that much more excitement to see the fight, because sometimes bad blood translates into the ring.
Yeah. Can it be a distraction as well, that kind of bad blood?
You know, especially for the younger fighter, I think it can be sometimes. I can't say all the time, but I think it can be. A lot of times the older fighter has been there, done that. He knows how to sort of maneuver the trash talk. I felt like in the build-up to this fight, a little bit of the face-to-face, Zerafa was trying to use some of that mental games to maybe unnerve Nikita a little bit. It can be to your advantage. Ultimately, though, you're going to have to overcome that youth excitement, that youth energy that a guy like Nikita has. He doesn't have the experience, so he's going to look to offset you with the energy. And a lot of times, you know, we see the young lion takes care of the old lion, right? So a lot of times that youth energy is enough to offset that veteran gamesmanship. But I see Zerafa's been trying to use it a little bit. I think the bad blood is genuine because of all the years between Tszyu and Zerafa in general, but it makes me excited for the fight.
Is there talk of this fight back in the US? Obviously, Nikita being the younger brother of Tim. We all know Tim's experience in the US.
I think the talk has been a lot about Tim because he just returned. He just had a win. Nikita is a little bit of a lesser known entity in the US right now. Obviously, Zerafa's known. He didn't make a great impression in the US, so there's not a lot of talk about Zerafa. But certainly Nikita being a Tszyu, we all knew Kasha in the amateurs, you know, and then I mean in the amateurs in America, in the US. Then we know Tim because he's come to the US and he's made a little bit of a name for himself as well. With Nikita, we just know him right now as Kasha's son. There's more to be done for him to make his own reputation. Right now in the US, Nikita's just known as Kasha's son, Tim's little brother. We'll see what he does. I think this weekend goes a long way in seeing how far he can cement himself.
Absolutely. I think people would be intrigued by the Butcher. He's got a bit of an interesting story, doesn't he, Nikita?
Yeah, Nikita's he's fun both in and outside of the ring. We just interviewed him, and it's like you just don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. Same thing when he gets in the ring. You just don't know what punch is going to come, where it's going to come from. You don't know if he's going to go down, his opponent's going to go down. This fight is extremely fun. It's going to be extremely fun to watch. And this isn't popular opinion, but to me, this is a fight that is important for Tim and Zerafa because the number one thing we do as boxers is entertain. And a lot of that is lost. We're trying to get a win. We're trying not to lose. We're trying to make money. We're trying to get to the world class. How about we just have some fun? And that's what I like about this weekend. To me, this weekend is actually about having fun.
And also, when you're a young fighter, you know, I always used to think, I'm a little bit older, right? So, like, I remember the original Batman movie in 1989 with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton, right? I remember the Joker used to say this line, and when I was young, I used to always repeat it in my head. Wait till they get a load of me. You know, when you're young, you want the world to get a load of you, and I think Nikita's still in that position. Australia knows Nikita Tszyu, but a big win this weekend against a guy who's traveled a little bit, even if he's on the Australian market with Zerafa. He's a little bit more known internationally. They'll start getting a load of Nikita Nikita Tszyu as well. And I think that's big for Nikita, and that's sort of the determination and the hunger that he's showing.
Well, I'm keen to get your impressions of Michael Zerafa. I'm going to bring him in now for a quick chat. He's actually saying hi to Liam Paro, who's going to be on our coverage tomorrow. Here he is. Michael Zerafa, looking fantastic as always. Great to see you. How are you enjoying the night so far?
Oh, it's amazing. It's electric here. Everyone's coming out. It's good to see everyone getting around the event, and I'm standing here next to two greats, and you're lovely yourself, and that was great. It's amazing. I can't wait to get out there.
I mean, you've seen so much of Nikita. You saw him a couple of days ago, obviously, the last few months, but seeing him here tonight, what's the mood like between the two of you?
I like him. I mean, I know I'm not meant to like him. He's the animosity and that competitiveness between me and Tim, and that started along 5 years ago. And Nikita, I know he's mentioned it's personal. It's purely business for me, and it's a big fight. I got to get and prove myself and win. But he's a character, and I like him. I don't know. He's weird, and I like him.
You know, Mike, first of all, good to see you, man.
Likewise, my brother.
You know, I was talking about some of the gamesmanship. Nikita's a little bit younger. I've seen some of the face-to-face. You know, you talk about that you haven't been on the level. He hasn't been on the level of you. You've been on the international stage and so on and so forth. Have you noticed any of it having any sort of effect? I mean, you can look into the eyes of a fighter. You've been a young fighter before, and you sort of know what it's like for an older fighter to sort of try to use that on you. Have you noticed any effect personally when you've tried? Is he trying to Is he overly? First of all, I guess I want to word it this way: is he overly trying to impress you? Is he trying to over-impress you by trying to respond too much?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he's hard to read sometimes, because sometimes he's really like over the top and he's very bubbly, and then there's times where he gives you nothing. And I don't expect anything from him, but I think, like you mentioned, I've been in the ring with the guys like Cal Brook and the Laras and stuff like that, and I think in the later rounds that's where the experience will come into play. And he's hungry. Being a young fighter, I was not as good as I was now, but I was a lot more vicious and hungry, and I wanted it a lot more. But now I think I'm a lot smarter, and I think in this fight the smarts will come into play, and I think that's what's going to get me over the line.
How do you offset that viciousness?
I'll just be smart, like I'll be smart. I don't play into the dumb things. Like, he wants to always walk forward and rush. For me, like I said, we've got 10 rounds. There's 30 minutes there. Like back in the days, I'd want to get him out there in round 1, round 2. We don't get paid for overtime. But now when we're fighting these experienced fights and these important fights, I take my time. And try to offset him.
And just real quick, give us a small. I know we got the rest of the week. Give us a small forecast of how you expect this fight to go. We look at you as you're the veteran. You're the one with all the experience. How are you going to manage this big ball of energy that we expect to be coming at you on fight night?
Yeah, look, I think he's expected to win. He carries that last name, but for me, cool, calm, and collected is the key. I think, when I go out there and try to look for the knockout, I never find it. I find, out of my 22, 23 knockouts in my career, I've never looked for one. It just comes, and I think that's the key, is taking my time, taking him to deep waters, and then slowly drown him as the rounds go on.
Is it important for him to get your respect early on? Is it important for you to set that tone?
Yeah, 100%. Look, I think he secretly respects me, and I respect him. I respect any fighter, despite what goes on, in front of cameras and the villain role and whatnot. I respect him. I respect every fighter. And I think he does the same. And in 3 days we get to go out there and settle it. And God willing, may the best man win.
We're going to let you go. We're going to let you get faced off in Nikita, so we'll let you head off over there. But Nick, we'll see you tomorrow at the open workouts. All right, we're going to get to Stephen Pales now to get our fighters faced off.
Well, here we are again, boxing fans, those here in Brisbane and those watching around the country live on Australia's sports leader, Fox Sports, as we begin Fight Week here in Brisbane. And right on cue, a Shakespearean tempest has joined us here. The storm clouds have rolled in because this is bad blood, and we are ready for a big fight week. So Brisbane, I ask you before we start our grand arrivals and face-offs here, are you ready for the biggest fight week in Australian boxing? Ready to go here. As I mentioned, the clouds have rolled in. It's a big week. It will be drama, there will be theatrics, and it will be a wonderful week. That is all proudly brought to you by No Limit Boxing, Australia's #1 boxing promotion, bringing Australia to the world. And here we are at the Lena rooftop, ready to welcome some of our main card here for a face-off on the beautiful rooftop pool here. Steve Pales is my name, ready for a big week of action. And it's time to welcome out our boxers here. We have 4 of the fights of the main card, and our boxers ready to make their way on. As the heavens open up even more, I ask the boxers to please be nice and careful as they make their way here for a face-off. We'll start with the bout that will open up our card on the night. This man will be boxing out of the red corner, a late replacement, so we say thank you to Jeffrey Matthews. Team Matthews, welcome on stage. It's now time to welcome his opponent, a very hyped young man who comes into this bout with a fantastic record, 2-0, ready to extend that. The son of a legend and a proud fighter, ready to make his way onto this stage. Let's have a very big round of applause, everybody. This is Raheem the Dream Mundine. Gentlemen, welcome on stage. We'll get you to shake each other's hands and face off here as the Tempest joins us here. Let's make some noise, Brisbane. This bout opens up our card on main event on Friday night. Facing forward, gentlemen, please, for the cameras facing forward. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, Matthews and Mundine to open up our pay-per-view card. Let's hear it one more time. Round of applause. We'll now move on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome the next of our boxers onto the stage for the next bout. This one will be one of our heavyweight matchups, and this one will be for the Australian Heavyweight Championship, 10 3-minute rounds of action. First of all, we welcome all the way from Mount Druitt in Western Sydney. He comes into this bout 7-1. Here he is, the challenger. Let's make some noise for God's son, Liam Taliva'a. We'll make it quick for you, Liam. Welcome on stage. 100%. And now let's welcome his opponent onto the stage. This man boxing out of the blue corner. He is your reigning and defending AMBF Australian Heavyweight Champion with a record 7 wins and 1 draw. He's from right here in Brisbane. And has he seen weather like this? I'm sure he has. He's ready to bring the storm. Let's make some noise for Stefan Ivic. I'm thinking the same. Let's not go for a swim. Gentlemen, shaking hands. I'll get you just to come right in the centre, please, and facing off here. That would be fabulous. Thank you very much, gents. A little bit closer if we can, boys. A little bit closer. Let's not slip over each other here, but they're ready for it. Australian heavyweight honours on the line. Taliva'a and Ivic. Both involved in bangers last year, ready for a big fight. All right, we'll get you facing forward, gentlemen, please. And let's have a big round of applause here. Everyone in Brisbane here on the rooftop for our Australian Heavyweight Championship, Taliva'a and Ivic. Good luck, gentlemen. Round of applause, making your way safely off stage. All brought to you once again, as I mentioned, No Limit Boxing here in Brisbane, starting the year off with potentially the biggest fight card of the year. We now move on to another massive heavyweight battle. This one, a very anticipated bout between 2 heavyweights and also 2 former rugby league players, but now they're in the boxing space. 4 3-minute rounds in the heavyweight division is where we're at. It's now time to welcome up a man, first of all, boxing out of the red corner. He comes into the bout 1 fight for 1 win. This is Jeremy Lights Out Latimo. There he is, Lights Out Lattimore, and now it's time to welcome on stage his opponent. This man, the next crossover star in boxing. He makes his much anticipated professional debut up here in Brisbane. He's played rugby league games in the cauldron of Suncorp Stadium, but now it's time for the Brisbane Entertainment Centre in Boondall. Professional debut time. Let's welcome the man on his way from Melbourne via Aotearoa, New Zealand. Here he is, Big Nasty Nelson Asofa-Solomona. Here are the gentlemen on stage. Get you just to move this way a little bit, gents. Coming closer. Thank you, thank you. Yep. Just so we're right in the centre. Here they are, facing off. Big Nasty, Lights Out Lattimore. Here they are, face to face and ready to go. Facing forward now, gentlemen, if we can. Who's ready for this? Let's make some noise for our big heavyweights. Here we go, Nelson and Lattimore. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Lights Out Lattimore and Nelson, Big Nasty, Asofa-Solomona. Here we go now. We've arrived at our main event of the evening. As the rain comes down and the storm blows in for the week, Bad Blood is here. And we are ready now to lift the roof off this venue for the first time in Fight Week. It is face-off time of our main event of the evening. We have 10 3-minute rounds. The WBO International title on the line. It is vacant and we are at middleweight for this bout. First of all, we welcome onto the stage from the red corner. This man hailing from Melbourne, coming into this bout with a record 34-5, 22 big wins coming by way of knockout. He's much maligned, he's well-spoken and ready to hype this fight up. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise. Let's lift it from Michael Pretty Boy Zerafa. And now, boxing fans here in Brisbane and those watching on this broadcast around Australia on Fox Sports, ready for our main event this Friday night. It's time to welcome his opponent onto the stage. He'll box out of the blue corner on the night. 11-0, perfect record he brings into this fight, hailing from Sydney, New South Wales. Let's make some noise as we get onto the stage. It is face-off time in Fight Week for the first time. Brisbane, let's hear it as we make some noise for Nikita the Butcher Tszyu. WBO International on the line here at middleweight, the vacant belt. Both fighters have had lots to say to each other. It promises to be an absolutely fantastic fight week. There we have it. The boys are ready, facing forward, please, gentlemen, for the cameras. Nikita and Michael Zerafa, the main event. We are ready. Gentlemen, there we go. Thank you very much. For the first time in Fight Week, Nikita Tszyu and Michael Zerafa. We conclude it from right here on top of the pool here at the Lena, and we go back to our broadcast team, led by Megan Barnard.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Plenty of feeling in that face-off. That is for sure. You'll see plenty more of them as the week goes on and as we build up to fight night here in Brisbane. And with that, our grand arrivals are done. Next stop is the open workouts that you'll see here on Fox tomorrow from midday Australian Eastern Daylight Time. If you haven't already, make sure you order this fight now. Scan the QR code or head to mainevent.com.au. A big thanks to Sean, Pete and Paulie, and thanks to you at home for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. Good night.
This is the moment that we've all been waiting for.
Right here, right now.
Here comes the reckoning. What a bit of finish. How's this for a bit of entertainment? What a moment.
Game changer.
And doesn't she love it?